All right, so this has been going around Twitter like wildfire. So the Mavs are considered dark horse trade candidate for Spurs Jakob Poeltl. I have not read through this, but I wanted to just look through it with you guys and let's see where all this is coming from.
I want some nasty. Are we having fun yet?
When we talk about teams that would take on Jakob Poeltl, Dallas Mavericks is the last team I think about, and particularly because they're a rival of ours. Now, it's going to be a little while before the San Antonio Spurs are back on their game, but I mean, I don't think it's going to be so long that Jakob Poeltl wouldn't be a threat to us, down the line. But I don't know. That's just me thinking out loud. So before we look at this article, if you guys want to support the channel, clanthemerchfan.com, link in the description. Thank you so much, Shoni Nicole. For tweeting this out. If you guys get your merch, please tweet it out, tag me either on Instagram, Twitter, whatever. I will post it. But yeah, I really do appreciate it nonetheless. All right, so let's look at this. So with the NBA's February 9th trade deadline looming, the Dallas Mavericks have been pegged as a team to watch for San Antonio big man Jakob Poeltl. Who made that claim? Let's move down. Although Dallas has some talented bigs on its roster, Christian Wood. By the way, I heard Christian Wood's a really bad teammate. Is that right? I heard he's a really bad teammate. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. That's outside looking in right there, okay? You see, Clever, Dwight Powell. The first two of the group are injured. But even if the injuries weren't a factor, having the entire stable of big man healthy still probably wouldn't be enough to keep the Mavs from being near the bottom of the league in rebounding. Right now, Dallas is dead last in that cat. They're dead last? I'm not looking up whether or not they're dead last. I'm baffled because they're dead last in rebounding, and they're in the playoff picture right now. They're dead spanking the playoff pick. That is insane. They're right there too, like a couple games and they're number 4. That's insane. Okay, I did not know that. Yeah, they would need a Jakob Poeltl. But what you gonna give us? That's what I want to know. What you gonna give us? But moving on, let's see. What was the last thing we read here? Bottom of the league, rebounding right now. Dallas is dead last in that category. So what are some realistic center options for the Mavs on the trade market? According to reports, LJ. Oh, I love LJ Ellis. Okay. San Antonio Spurs big man Jakob Poeltl could be a name to watch for Dallas. A scout for a team with the Western Conference told me that he believes that Dallas Mavericks are a dark horse in the Poeltl sweepstakes. Poeltl will be a talent upgrade in a position or need, and he'd be great for Luka's read and react style. True. That said, I haven't heard of any trade discussions between the Spurs and the Mavs. So this is just a scout for a team in the Western Conference. That's yeah. Anyways, Poeltl is set to be an unrestricted this summer. Anyways, is reportedly looking for a contract of $20 million. We know this. Although the 27-year-old doesn't shoot threes, he does shoot a stellar 63.3% overall and would be an excellent fit in Dallas, not only with Luka Doncic specifically, but in Coach Jason Kidd's system as well. The question is, do the Mavs like Poeltl enough to potentially burn an unprotected first-round pick on him? Because that seems to be where the bidding starts for his services. If I'm the Dallas Mavericks, I mean, this is just me talking, but if I were the Dallas Mavericks, I would certainly give up an unrestricted first round pick. If you can keep Luka and you're very convinced that you keep Luka long haul, right? It seems like Luka isn't going anywhere. If you can do that, even though he's frustrated, he gets frustrated, not all the time. But if you can keep Luka and, build around him this way, I think you go for it. Because at this point, it doesn't look like they're going to slow down. And as long as Luka Doncic is healthy, there's no reason for the Dallas Mavericks to not make it to the playoffs every single year. So just building those pieces around them, I think that makes sense for them. As far as me as a Spurs fan, I've said this so many times, but if you were to get, I hope we can get 2 first-round picks for Jakob. If you can get a unprotected first-round pick for Jakob, especially if you're trading them off to a team that doesn't look like they're going to be that great, that would be huge. I mean, absolutely huge. But hey, I know a lot of people are kind of split on whether or not to get rid of Jakob. Let me go ahead and make this clear, okay, the best of my ability, all right? Because I've seen a few comments under my videos when I talk about Jakob about I don't understand why Clan wants to get rid of Jakob. Okay, it's not that I necessarily want to get rid of Jakob. This is just an argument for if we went ahead and let Jakob go. I just think it makes the most sense to do it. And the reason being is because Jakob, he's a little older, okay? He's definitely around his prime, all right? And the San Antonio Spurs, we're not going to be winning, like, I mean, playoff contender, championship contender type of team in the next at least 3-4 years. Like that's just how I'm assuming it, okay? And I'm not saying Jakob in the next 3-4 years is going to be bad or trash or anything like that. It's just I think that he would have a much better shot at winning somewhere else, and then we can also build upon the future. Because if we're going off after Wemby, we're going after Scoot or any player in this top draft, it's going to take some time for them to develop as well. So I feel like Jakob himself as a player can get much more, or teams can get much more utility out of him somewhere else. When it comes to us, I feel like we can find a Jakob Poeltl type archetype, not the best, okay, not better than Jakob necessarily, but even Bassi right now that we got in the G League, he's murdering it over there. And when he played during the season, he played fairly well. Now, is he Jakob? No. But I think it's good enough right now, you know, and that's just how I view it. And like every single aspect of this team, it's certain players where I'm just like, if we can just build upon the future, I'm with it, right? Josh Richardson, I'm with it. Get rid of Josh Richardson. Doug McDermott, no utility in keeping him or trying to keep him for the long run. I just drew a blank. There's someone else too, but I just drew a blank. But anyways, Jakob Poeltl, I just think that that's a really good one where we can just go ahead and try to move him. If they don't, I'm totally cool with it. But the Spurs are gonna you expect the Spurs to pay, you know, about 20 million more than likely for him. And I just don't know. I don't know the risk. Another thing too, and this is probably my last point on the Jakob thing. Jakob has been very vocal in the past, over the past couple seasons, that he will be willing to go somewhere else. Like he's been hinting at it for a very long time. Now he's a very honest guy, so that might just be him just being honest, and that's just his nature. But he has said some things where it always made me scratch my head, like he might be planning to move on. But you also seen reports of him, you know, being okay with staying with San Antonio. But I think that the Spurs they offered him an extension and he didn't take it. No, actually, I'm pretty certain of that. I'm like 99% sure that happened and he didn't take it. So I don't know. It just seems like more of a risk to just let this drag out to to free agency, and you offer him 20 million and then another team to offer him 22. I just don't want to risk it. I don't think it's worth it. So that's where I'm at this point. If you can get a first round pick for Jakob, he's not a do or die type player, right? It's not like we're getting rid of Jeremy Sohan. Shoot, I wouldn't even go as far as to say this is as big as getting rid of like Keldon Johnson, right? Like these are certain players that could be really key pieces going forward. So I wouldn't necessarily like break my back to try to keep Jakob around. That's just me. So anyways, I'll give it to you guys later, man. You want to support the channel, clanthemerchfan.com, link in the description. Once again, if you guys get your merch, please tag me so I can retweet it, man, or repost it. So anyways, I'll give it to you later. Till next time, bye.